Hello my fellow sim racers, this is Jason for Sim Rig Racing and this is my updated 2024 Sim Racing Rig Tour. Now I know I made one back in 2023, but as is always the case with us sim racers, within weeks of making the video I decided to change just about everything and anything. When I first put the rig up in this sim racing room, I literally just moved it from my sim racing cupboard up into the sim racing room. And I didn't really at first utilise the space that was now available to me. So after making that video I decided to swing the whole thing around 90 degrees and face the rig against a different wall, as you can see from the pictures being shown now. But I didn't like that. I wanted it back in the corner in its original orientation. So I moved everything once more. And this is where the rig is now, and I'm finally happy with it. But I didn't stop there. We've changed hardware, we've changed the rig, we've changed how I go about all aspects of sim racing, and I'm now fully starting to utilise the room that I've got compared with the cupboard that I used to have. So come and join me for a quick 2024 update of my sim rig. We're going to go over to my phone camera, so it might be a little bit wobbly from here on out, but it gives me the best way of getting up close and really showing you the changes I've made. Let's go! Right, let's start with the driving position, setup and view. We have of course got a all new Prima D-shaped rim and button box to go along with my Formula rim that I bought when I first got my Prima wheel. There is the world's cheapest dash. I made a video all about that and it's still being used to this day. But the biggest changes has happened with what I see, my monitor setup. You've got the main screen here, which is a 34-inch curved ultra wide, which has made such a difference, especially now I've moved it closer to me. It really just fills all your vision, and it's well, apart from going into triples, it's about as good as it gets for sim racing. But recently I've decided to yep, I have mounted a flat 34-inch monitor above as a second monitor. Now when I'm racing I use it for information like that, track maps and leaderboards and all kinds of things like that. So now I have a completely overkill setup for when I'm driving. But that top monitor does have a dual use and I'll show you more about that later on. But when I'm sat in the rig, this is the setup I've got and this is how I go racing. So I am now going to show you the major change to the sim rig. Now everything is all mounted on my original Lab GT1 EVO rig, which I've had for over 3 years and is still as rock solid now as the day it was built. But I've gone from a homemade homebrew monitor mounting system and I've bought this Track Racer monitor mounting system, for which I did make a video for, link will be in description. And this thing is amazing. It is as sturdy as anything and it's as configurable as can be. We got height up and down, we can move it in and out, and that is what the curved 34-inch ultra wide is mounted to. But then recently I decided to invest in a GT Omega, what they call a fourth monitor mount, which allows all kinds of infinite adjustability, as in angle, height, so I can tilt this top screener over. Now it looks an odd angle from the side view, but when you're sat in there, the two monitors, the gap, they're sat right above each other and there's no bleed coming through. Now I will say that I'm seriously impressed with the bottom section of the monitor mount from Track Racer. Not so with the GT Omega 4th monitor mount. I bought this because it was free shipping and slightly cheaper than the Track Racer version. I wish I'd spent the extra now. Track Racer, they cut their stuff to match most of the sizes that rigs come in. GT Omega have got a slightly different way of sizing up things, and as you can see, I've had to mount this on the inside of here, and I've had to mount this plate here on the back of the side supports rather than in between, to get it to fit what I wanted it to do. Not the end of the world, but I think I'd have been better off spending slightly extra and buying the Track Racer top monitor mount. Of course, I'm still rocking my Asetek Forte pedals with the Invicta clutch to make a 3-pedal setup. These things are absolutely amazing, indestructible, built to last, and I still love this ultra stiff brake pedal. It's made such a difference to my consistency under braking when racing, and although you can swap out this load cell system for the hydraulic system that comes on the Invicta pedals, initially I was going to upgrade, but I'm so impressed with the brake feel and how it works and how it suits my driving that I'm not sure I'm going to be changing it anytime soon. Of course, we'll quickly show you, no sim racer was setup is not complete without his tatty old cheap karting boots off of eBay, but they just give you that slightly thicker sole because you need that with pedals like this. If you can't run in barefoot or socks, because it will just hurt the pressure you need to apply. But luckily I've always raced in a set of karting boots. So that's the pedals. So as you can see, sim wheelbase wise, I've got the Prima 12 Newton meter wheelbase. Again, it's upgradable. I could change it and put the electronics in of the Forte base, but this 12 Newton meter wheel is far more powerful. It is so clean and accurate and quick in response that I'm not going to be changing it. I'm super happy with it. What we do now is we'll just have a little spin around here. Now this is the rim that I had originally, the Formula rim that came as part of the kit with the Prima with the quick release, and it's just got the magnetic shifters, but that is perfectly fine for my needs. It does everything I need it to do. As I say, as I quickly alluded to earlier, I have recently picked up the D-shaped rim and the Prima button box. Again, it comes with just the shifter paddles, magnetic, but this has been a game changer. I probably use this rim more than I do the Formula rim. It just does everything I want it to do and a bit more. It's just so good. I love it when I race my, the tin tops, the GT cars, everything. Now, hopefully soon, Asetek will be releasing their LMP style loop round grips that I can change and retrofit to this. That's the last upgrade I'm going to be using it for, because that'll give me more of a GT3 feel to the wheel and the wheel rims. And that is what I'm racing with wheel and wheelbase wise. Now, if you remember, if you watched the first video, you'll notice that the rig used to be sat on just a rug. It didn't really do much to absorb impact. It was a little bit echoey, and I found that I was getting dust bits and strands appearing, especially around by the pedals. So now this rig sits on a 1 centimeter thick, sound deadening, absorbing textured pad. Really impressed, a lot happy with that now. The rig sits more stable and I get less in the way of dust. Here we have is the old tripod with my little webcam on there, and that's what you see when I'm racing and filming my videos. And then we'll just pan around quickly, and this thing is a brilliant OMP steel tubular seat. Now I'm suffering from a little bit of back issue, but this thing fits me so snugly, it's so comfortable that actually it's one of the few places I can sit and actually get some relief from my back issues. So we'll quickly move on to what else we've got around. This is a new addition, the SimJack sequential shifter. I have got a review of that, and I'll leave a link to it in the description. This is a fantastic piece of kit for the money. Really good industrial functional look to it, and It is so well made, so sturdy. It just feels so great to use. Another one of those purchases that I just wish I'd done earlier. Now let's try and get down in the depths here. There is the new PC case. I used to have this awful white cheap case because I needed something that was narrow enough to fit in my sim racing cupboard. I've now managed to invest in a proper wide black case that I can have real proper cooling with. Of course, it's got RGB. I bought RGB because I've been told that that makes you 0.2 of a lap faster, and even more so if you just leave it to wildly change colours all the time. And it's nothing to do with the fact that there was a deal on and it was cheaper for me to buy the RGB case than the plain. Now here is my ever-growing collection of models. Now I've only brought one of these, and then since then my wife has been adding to the collection of BTCC Tin Top Championship winners. It's been fantastic because I'm in my 50s now. It's awkward to find something to buy at birthdays and Christmases, so the family are now clubbing together and buying up these little models for me to have a nice little background and for me to look at when I'm not racing. Really pleased with that. An old SHA shifter that's waiting to go back on into H-pattern mode. And of course, here is my British Touring Car Championship wall art. This thing is huge. Didn't have any idea what it was going to cost me when I bought it, but I'm glad I did. I really enjoy it. Seeing all the championship winners from 2022 all the way back to 1958 when it first started. And what we'll do is we'll finish off. Up the top here is a light. Gives me a little bit of, when I'm editing, just takes the shadow off of the keyboard. And I've got my fans here with my air straighteners off of eBay. Fantastic. Beams straight down on my face. Just keeps the temperature reasonable when you're in the middle of a race. So that's it. That is the 2024 sim rig setup in the sim racing room. I couldn't be happier with it. I'm chuffed to bits, really enjoy it, and hopefully no major changes coming up within the next a few weeks at least, but if I change it, I'll update the video. So that's it. That is the 2024 sim rig update tour all done and dusted. I hope you enjoyed having a little look behind the scenes, seeing what I've got, why I've got it, and how I've got it set up. I know I find it really interesting looking at other sim racers' hardware setups. Any questions, you want to know anything more about anything on the rig, why or how, then let me know in the comments and I shall do my best to answer them. But in the meantime, I think I'm going to get back to some more sim racing, and I think you should too. So thanks again for watching, hope you enjoyed it, like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next sim racing video right here on Sim Rig Racing. Bye bye.